Steve, Jill, Dylan, Steve. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chomp Chain with a Chomp Chain Podcast. 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 Sucky.
Okay. Start this one off with a dramatic sigh. Welcome to episode 3 of the Chomp Chain Podcast. I'm Chris. I'm here with
Steve
and these
Joe.
two guys.
You know. They know.
That's Dylan.
Joe and
say,
Dylan.
Say your fucking name.
My fucking name.
All right.
I'm sitting next to Dylan today.
Yeah, we're in a whole new studio.
Yeah. It's
We're
called
in
Dylan's
Dylan's
living room.
Dylan's sister's room.
Don't
say that.
absolutely not. My sister's room is got all princesses and stuff. No, we're in my living room with Bill's here playing some video games. His name is Ass. Ass KKK Fag is the name of his character.
There we go. What's his,
That's brutal.
and his race is
Reptilian. All right, so, okay. Me and Steve are sharing a couch, so there might be some kissing by accident.
Sure, man.
By accident kissing. All right, so last time, Dylan, you left off.
I had a bit of a hot
The
take.
last thing that you said was how you had some beef with GTA 5 online.
Right.
Just
and-
GTA on.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
yeah. There's no GTA 4 online, so it is just
Well, I
GTA
mean,
Online.
There is GTA 4
There is?
multiplayer. Yeah.
Really? I didn't
Yep.
know that. Well, either way, it's not a problem that I have with GTA Online itself or the way it plays or any of the game styles or anything. What happened?
nothing.
Did it fuck up? Oh, all right.
we're
you
good.
pointed it. All right. It's my biggest beef is with the wait times and the fact that I can't seem to get a race for the life of me. Everyone wants to do a heist. The left side of my screen's popping up with text messages for heist invites that I can't do because I'm not level 12 yet, just constantly over and over again. And I can get into the lobby. You have something to say, Steve?
I was just going to say, I think what your problem is, but keep going.
Well, I can get into the lobby and it'll say your level 10, level requirement 12. But it doesn't ever boot me. I just kind of leave because I get tired of waiting for fucking 5 minutes to do anything in that game. And the whole, I don't know, I like playing as Franklin.
And you're playing on PlayStation 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why. Play on PC. That's my answer.
I'm going to
got
say right
some
now,
talk.
part of the problem is that I think this weekend was like a heist weekend where you got double like RP and money for doing heists. So that's probably why you kept getting them. I get them a lot too. It's just what you basically want to do is instead of going like find job, find random job, or accepting invites, just go into it and find like a race. And you click on that, it'll put you in one.
I can't find, where do I find just
So
matchmaking?
you open the phone,
Yeah.
and then you go to quick jobs.
Yeah, that's what I
And then
did.
you scroll down until you find race or whatever.
Yeah,
Don't just do-
no, that's what I'm doing. It's just I'll be playing for about 5 to 10 minutes before I even get put in a lobby, and then I'm put in a lobby with me and some other dude, and then we wait another 5 minutes, and the lobby never fills, and we get booted back to free play.
Well, then just let me know next time we can play
I
stuff.
guess so, yeah. Well, I don't know. It's like also every time I get into a death match, it ends up being some custom death match, and I don't know how to, or if there's a way to filter that out so that I can just play regular ones. But I'm tired of climbing a bunch of shit to get the pistol, and then by the time I get the pistol, someone else got the rocket launcher, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm stuck there for 20 minutes, or until I can get killed enough times to where I can stop playing.
Yeah, I think part of the issue is that like people had only played this like so many because there was only so many when it first came out, and everyone played them all. So they were
Yeah.
like, "We're bored of these. Let's only play custom ones now." Whereas you're coming in so late, that's just like you want to play the original ones, but no one else wants to because they've played them 1,000 times.
Yeah, no, I get that, and it's fun. Like when I get to play, I have a lot of fun, and that's kind of why I'm just like, I wish that there weren't these little things holding me back, because half the time I'm sitting there playing, I'm just like, I'm just gonna go play Rocket League because I don't have to wait for a game ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Rocket League is the best game. It's the best sport in the entire world.
Wasn't Rocket League having server problems at first too, though, on PS4?
I don't know. I just got it last week when we talked about it. So
I heard it was. I don't know. I play it on PC as well, along with GTA.
me.
That's why I have no problem.
I play on the PC.
No, I played on the PC too until I decided that I just don't play enough video games to justify spending $800 on a new PC.
But enough to be in a podcast about them.
Yeah.
What?
So Dylan, wait,
That's free, though.
did you end up downloading Ethan Carter, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter?
Yes, I did, and I liked it a lot. But
Did you finish it?
No, I
Okay.
played it for I think an hour and a half or 2 hours. I got to the part where spoilers. I'm not even gonna spoil. There's something that can kill you for the first time. Like I got through the house.
Are you in the mines?
I don't know. I solved. Oh yes, I'm in the mines. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I got there. And
Worst part of the whole game, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I really just went in once, died, and then I got distracted. I had to do something, AFK or IRL, whatever. And then by the time I got back, I was still just like, I'm gonna play Rocket League instead.
Yeah, I finished it. So last week I had played about 2 hours of it. I played maybe another 2 hours of it, and then I was beat. I 100% of that game.
It's about a 6-hour game, right?
Yeah, it's something like that, 4 or 6 hours. I think mine was probably about 4 hours. I guess takeaway from the game was a lot different after finishing it than I was last week after only doing half of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I really liked that first puzzle, like the house puzzle. It took me a little bit. It took me about a good half hour to really figure it out.
With the doors, the multiple doors in the house?
with the
so that was
doors.
the last thing that I did. I missed that puzzle. So I didn't know that you could do these things in different orders. But yeah, I just completely didn't go into that house and then went along my way following progression that I thought, and then eventually came back to that house by chance, went inside of it thinking, okay, this is the next thing I had to do. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at a list of things later on and I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I just walked right by. Yeah. So the game is non-linear in that sense.
Yeah, it even gives you the disclaimer.
The things that I thought were optional, cool little experiences aren't optional. You pretty much have to do all of the different things. You have to have everything happen in order to complete the game. But when I completed the game, I enjoyed every part of it pretty much, except for the mines. They kind of sucked a little bit because it was just really confusing. But yeah, for the most part, I really enjoyed everything, and it was still very beautiful. I said it reminded me of PT last time. That sense went away pretty quickly. It was just that first experience walking in and the strangeness of it all, like the mystery, not knowing what was going on.
They're also two of the better looking games on the
That's true.
PS4.
And I sound like I'm being negative, but I really did like that game a lot. And I actually will probably play it again at some point. But
yeah, I'll finish it.
Yeah,
I believe.
Unreal Engine 4 is what it's in.
Yeah.
Which, through a weird series of news stories, I think we just learned that the new NX, the new Nintendo system, will be able to run at least Unreal Engine 4.
Right, it'll still be a generation behind.
Square Enix announced Dragon Quest.
When the new ones come out, obviously.
11, I want to say, or I don't know. Whatever new one that's going to be on PS4 and the new Nintendo system.
I think it is 11.
Yeah, and the only thing we already know about that is that it was in Unreal Engine 4.
Well,
Top-end graphics.
They have Unreal Engine 4 like Mario demos and stuff online.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, you haven't seen them yet?
No.
Oh my god, they're incredible. Yeah, it's basically them. They just put Super Mario 64 in Unreal Engine, and it's friggin' mind blowing, dude. It's so cool. They have a Sonic one. They have a bunch of different ones actually.
I was gonna say it's not like it's just the engine. It's not the graphics. So it's not like you put it into Unreal Engine 4 and it's going to be like just because the game is made in Unreal Engine 4 doesn't mean it's going to look like Ethan Carter.
Right. But it could. They're giving them. They have the options to try to make that happen.
It has the power
for the first time since the GameCube, right?
Right. No. Well, tell me about that. Because you had said this to me outside of the podcast about how the GameCube was ahead of its time or something like that.
Not ahead of its time. It was just graphically, it was the best console of that generation. No, like there's no doubt about it. It was better than PS2.
And Xbox.
Definitely. Oh yeah, the original Xbox. Yeah, hell yeah. The best looking game I've ever seen from that generation was RE4 on the GameCube, without a doubt. And Time Splitters was pretty sick.
Was RE4 on the GameCube better than on the PS2 port of it?
Oh yeah.
That's me asking.
From what I've heard, yes. I haven't played the PS2 port of it.
That's the only version I played. I never had a GameCube.
Yeah, not many people did. It didn't sell well, and that's
didn't everyone in this room but me have a GameCube?
Yes.
Yeah, but we like video games. So like the general pub that didn't really sell.
I like video games.
You know what I mean, though. And then they made the Wii, and
there's 2 GameCubes in this room right now.
Well, yeah. Again, we're good people, and we know what good video games are. But it didn't sell well, and then they were like, "All right, this clearly isn't a good strategy. Let's try to do something different." And then they did, and it was a success. And then they did it again, and it wasn't. So now they're like, "All right, let's try to do something powerful this time." Hopefully, I don't know. It's still early. I could be talking out of my ass right now, but who knows?
they have that Nintendo money. Like, they can fuck around. They can have a console that doesn't sell as well as they would want it to, and they can then push out this new console and say, okay, we messed up. We're going to try it again. We're going to follow the market trends, and we're going to try to make the best console that we can.
Right. And I actually saw something online today that said Wii U sales passed 10 million. That console's been out since 2012, right?
I believe
I'm pretty sure.
so.
10 million sales from 2012 to now is actually really bad. That's really bad compared to everything else that's
PS4
gone.
is at is probably twice
Oh
that.
my god!
It's been
I
out
know,
for
it's like they're celebrating that,
years
and
and
it's
change.
It came out way before PS4 and stuff. It's sad. You know what I mean?
So, did you guys hear about how they opened up, or they lifted the ban on consoles in China?
I did hear that.
Which is like the biggest population on Earth. So I think that consoles were already available in China, but just not through mainstream means. But now you'll be able to buy a PS4 or an Xbox One. Nobody's going to do that. Or a Wii U. And I wonder how that is going to affect sales of the Wii U. What if they might not care at all. There's a whole PC gaming thing going on down there.
Right.
Over there, down there. I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything about Chinese culture, but
Clearly, because you almost said Japanese
because
culture.
I almost said Japanese culture.
Racist. That is racist.
Guys, come on,
You're on trial.
stop.
Begs court.
No, but that could. What if China loves Nintendo and nobody knows it?
They probably will. If I had to guess, I'd say they love Nintendo. That's just me. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it'll really change much as far as like if there's going to be a reason to develop specific games specifically marketed towards China. I mean, but if that ends up being the case, then you could see some interesting stuff.
We know Resident Evil over there though, or
Biohazard,
anything
right?
else. No, because
that's Japan.
You can't show like gore or bones in China, like
right.
how the Undead and WoW look all different.
Yeah, that's right. And they didn't
didn't know
have Pandaria, right?
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I just know the one thing I remember specifically is that the undead, how they have like bones showing, they're all covered up in the Chinese version of the game because they're not allowed to show it.
Get the hell out of here! I never knew that either. That's pretty nuts. Chinese people, they need to lighten up a little.
All right, now this is the trial for Joe and Chris now.
The Chinese government.
That's how it is in Australia too.
I
They
know.
censor
They
everything
need to lighten up,
super
too.
hard. I had no idea. I thought they were cool, like down under, like hanging out, having big knives
Nah,
and bad attitudes.
they're like fuck video games, dude.
They have enough shit that can kill them within like a 20-foot radius of them at all times in Australia that they're not trying to push anything on you in video games or movies. That's also why they carry gigantic knives, probably.
Fact.
That and drop bears.
What?
Drop bears? Never heard of drop bears?
I've never heard of drop bears.
All right, I'm just gonna tell you outright they're not real. But I guess there's like
What?
a popular thing to tell.
What the hell are you talking
Listen,
about?
I'm
Hold on,
trying
this
to
budget is spooky, I think.
A popular thing to tell people who are going to New Zealand or Australia is that there is such thing called drop bears, which are like kind of like little koala bear type things that will fall out of trees and onto your head, and that they're rampant in Australia and New Zealand, but they don't exist. All right?
That's not spooky.
That's not
at
why
all.
they need knives. It's because of kangaroos.
Are they deadly? Like, are they bad animals?
They don't exist.
I know. I know they don't exist. I know that.
They're as
Allegedly.
deadly as Pokemon.
And Santa Claus.
sure.
Okay. I see
Super
what you're
effective.
saying.
So you guys all still just playing Rocket League? Has anyone played anything else?
Yes, I guess just me.
No, I got Cave Story for 3DS. Haven't played a lot of it. I played for about 10 minutes. It seems like something I'm going to enjoy, but I can't say much about it at this point. So yes, I'm mostly playing Rocket League, but that'll change soon.
Why are you just gonna play Cave Story? Is that something else you're interested in?
I mean,
Like, why is
on
it
my
gonna change?
radar right now, not really. The Mega Man HD collection
Oh yeah,
comes out in August, I think. For the PC it does.
yeah.
I don't know about the other
It's
platforms.
coming to PS4. I know that much. I'm psyched.
I think that's August as well. I think the handhelds are maybe October or something. Something like
I'm
that.
shaking my head. I don't know.
But get it on PS4. It's probably a better bet.
Yeah.
That's going to be fucking awesome, dude.
I'm really excited. I haven't played a Mega Man game since Super Nintendo.
Dude. Yeah, but did you play it like back then or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's
I
cool.
loved Mega Man.
Yeah, I didn't play them back then. I started playing them recently, probably like 3 or 4 years ago. and that they're unbelievable games. Mega Man 2 is my favorite platforming game of all time, behind Ocarina of Time, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's the
Let's stop it.
that's the best platformer of all time.
Joe, I just want to say that I'm really mad at you that you have Ocarina of Time for 3DS because I can't buy it anymore unless I buy it on the shop because it's so expensive.
It's $60 on eBay.
Yeah.
$70. I still checked today.
No, I ain't doing that.
Why did they
that's
stop making
fucking-
that game?
They do, dude. They do that with a lot of their games. Nintendo does.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they don't push physical copies out a lot. They like Steve. They like Steve's theory with the whole
Yeah, but
digital
like
thing.
the thing is, they don't have an account, so like,
Yeah,
you get
that's
fucked.
dude. Why do you think I don't like digital downloads so much? Because that's fucking bullshit.
I guess it makes sense since the only console you have is a Nintendo.
Exactly. So you got to see where I'm
So now
coming
I understand
from.
why you're still wrong, but you're less wrong.
When a game comes out and they give you free crossplay between 3DS and Wii U, people shit their pants and like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And it's like, no, it's not really that awesome. Like every other service has been doing that for what, 4 years, 5 years. You know, it's kind of bullshit. And I don't know. I think that's something they need to address with the new system, whatever it might be.
I just downloaded Ethan Carter onto my PS4, and it took about 8 hours, and it slowed the internet down in my apartment a lot to the point where Kelly, my roommate, noticed, and I couldn't play Rocket League. It was bullshit. I wish I could
This
have
is
just bought
crazy
it at the
to
store.
me because how big was that game? Like 4 point something gigs?
It's not. Yeah, it's not even 5 gigs.
I downloaded Life is Strange Episode 4, which was 4.4 gigs. Took me like half an hour, 45 minutes.
You're hardwired, correct?
Nope.
No,
That was over
On
Wi-Fi.
I don't know, man. It
I was
could
like,
have
I'm
been.
gonna play this, and then I just went and did something else for half an hour, and I came back.
Yeah, it could have been a fluke, like just the day maybe the internet in the area was slow, but it was not something that I've thought about buying a couple games since then, and I just like from the PS4 marketplace, and I just think of that and just don't do it.
How long did it take you to download, Chris? Since you have terrible internet.
I think I downloaded it overnight. I didn't even pay attention to it. I just put it into rest mode and went to sleep. I put myself into rest mode.
Thanks for nothing then.
But
All right.
my internet
Double
is
rest mode.
kind of dirt. There's 11,000 people live in my house. I mean, that's an average. I'm rounding up a little. But there's a lot of people in my house, and we get a lot of shit sucking off the Wi-Fi.
A lot of people on the network.
A lot of people on the network.
That's a big problem nowadays, dude.
I
Everyone's
mean,
on
I
the
don't know. We
network.
all have 11,000 devices.
I know. That's what I mean.
11,000
Like,
people, 11,000 devices.
Think of
Let's
everything.
do that math.
Everything that's online in your house, like it's pretty nuts, pretty friggin' nuts. Because when you sit and you think about it really quick, you're like, oh, my laptop and my PC, whatever. But it's like, no. All the cell phones, you know what I mean? Like iPads, exactly, shit like that. It adds up, and that kills your internet.
And that's the only reason that I haven't done the like day one digital stuff. Trying to like download it. I mean, because even if I don't pre-order a game, if I decide, oh, it's Tuesday and The Witcher just came out, I had a problem ordering the collector's edition for The Witcher, so I ended up canceling it at the last minute. And I was thinking, okay, I could run out to the store and I could go grab it, or I could download it. But I knew I can't play it in 2 hours. It's gonna be tomorrow afternoon by the time I get to play this game. So I just ran out to the store and got the last copy of that.
Yeah, see, that was a good
And speaking of that, I'm almost all right. Go ahead.
So,
I'll bring up The
Steve,
Witcher.
what do you have to say about that?
I was gonna say if you had known earlier, you could have canceled your pre-order, downloaded it
Right.
before the game came out, and then played it the day it came out.
Yeah. That's
But obviously, it was different for you because you didn't know you had to cancel it until like the last minute, and it would have taken too long.
Same thing happened with when I got Bloodborne. It was a Friday, and I had just gotten out of work, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play Bloodborne this week, and I'm excited for it. It was that same week that it came out, but I hadn't pre-ordered it, and I thought I could go to the store on my way home, and it would take me an extra half hour before I get home and play this, or I could go home straight away, beat traffic, and download it, and then not play it until tomorrow because my internet is trash.
It's goddamn trash.
It's damn trash. But I was gonna say I'm almost going to beat The Witcher. Finally,
Again? You said that last week.
Yeah, I'm a little bit closer. I just haven't been playing it. After playing it for now 170 hours,
Dude.
over the course of like 2 or 3 months, whatever it is, whatever gross amount. Getting a lot of dirty looks in this room. I thought this was a judgment-free space, but clearly I was wrong. Yeah, I put a lot of time into that game. I like that game a lot, but now I've lost a little bit of interest after doing something that much.
Yeah, I would assume.
The last piece of free DLC that they're releasing is a new game plus mode. You can start it over on any difficulty with your current level and like gold and skills and all that. And that would have excited me a month ago, but now I'm just like, I'm ready to put this baby to rest.
Are you aware that 170 hours is almost exactly 1 week?
Oh, God.
like a whole week of you sitting there playing that game exists in time.
Yeah.
In the space-time continuum.
Well, and I can't ever get that time back. So
That's on the cloud.
I just
dude.
gotta own it. The
Like,
game
that
came
is-
out on May 19th. I just hit my nose on the mic. On May 19th, I think.
Yeah, that's a
And
little over 2
it's-
months.
It's almost August, and that's despicable. This is really. I work 40 hours a week. I have a girlfriend. We go out. We do things, but we also played The Witcher a lot.
Yeah.
So I can't
Clearly.
really, I can't defend myself. It's pretty gross behavior. We've all been guilty of that in the past, I'm sure, mostly with World of Warcraft, but we talked about this last week.
I just want to note that that's probably about what I have in Terra, but fake Terra, because I'm not actually playing it for that much. So I have like that same amount of time for just accidentally leaving it open, whereas you have that from physically playing the game for 170 hours. It's kind of terrifying that you've spent that much time.
Yeah, I mean, I
Nice
haven't done that
pawn.
with a game since I was probably in middle school. I don't know what changed with The Witcher 3. It was just the right point in my life. Summer was coming. Weather was getting warmer. Everything was beautiful outside. And
What a great excuse to sit inside.
I decided to not go outside for 2 months. And yeah, that's what's up.
I think I have I don't know. I think I realized that I have this thing where I don't want to beat games. I'm at the very end of Axiom Verge, and I haven't beaten it. I'm at the very, very end of Shadow of Mordor. I haven't beaten it. I'm at the very, very end of GTA 5, like the last mission of each of these games. And every time I think to play it, I'm like, I don't want to beat it. Like, I don't want to be done playing it, so I just don't play it. It's really stupid.
I did that for maybe 5 months with Persona 4.
Yeah.
I played that game. That was the first game in a while that I had really gotten back into before The Witcher. I put like 80 hours into it over the course of like 4 or 5 months. And then finally I'm on the very last stretch of time in that game, and I just put it down until a couple weeks ago. And then I finally went back and beat it. And I think I missed out on a lot of like, I don't know, fulfillment in that by taking such a big break. I was like, I came back and I was like, all right.
Yeah, that happens to me.
It's just done. But yeah, I feel like I didn't want to let go. And now I feel like that's what I did with The Witcher. I stopped at a certain point when I felt like it was about to end. And now every time I go back, I'm like, I don't even want to beat it, but I also kind of don't want to play it either. I don't want to let go, but I also don't want to go forward. And it's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird like attachment that you develop over a long period of time.
Yeah,
playing
over
the same-
170 hours. I gotta say, some of that's got to be just me leaving it on. I'm sure I've probably gone out and like not not played it.
Yeah, but that probably not many hours. Be honest. How many hours do you think that could have happened for? What could
10
you accomplish?
max.
Max 10.
10 in the course of those like 2.5 months, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Maximum of 10 hours left on.
I haven't put that much time into a video game in a very long time. I can't even remember, honestly, off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
neither can I. Before that, I can't. Nothing.
Yeah.
Persona was half that time.
I don't know, man. That's crazy. I haven't got that super into a game in a long time. I got super into GTA, and that faded. So, I don't know.
But that was the thing. Even though I was kind of wasting my time and I should have been doing a lot of other things, it was also sort of exciting because I hadn't felt that way since I was a little kid. I was just super excited to like come home after work and like do my thing, and then I'd just sit down and play a video game.
Yeah,
and just enjoy the shit out of it, because for years I've done that and then like felt guilty about it. Like, I should be doing this or that or whatever.
That's a shitty feeling.
And it's never a good feeling, but this I just let myself have it. And now that I've come out of it, I've started doing a lot more. I barely played video games this week. I've just been reading books and trying to catch up on shit that I haven't been doing. But for that little period of time, I allowed myself to be disgustingly absorbed in The Witcher.
Dude, you can't start playing Rocket League then, because you will play a lot of it. Actually, you don't seem like a big competitive video game player.
Pretty much, I don't like multiplayer at all. That's just not.
I can see why.
There can be. I mean, I think it's probably great. I've had some cool experiences.
It's
Most of the time, I
definitely
either just
great.
suck and I don't have fun, but for the most part, that's just never been what I wanted to do.
Right.
I like video games for different reasons, and I get why people like playing multiplayer, the competitive edge. Same reason people
What's
like
your
watching
favorite
sports.
part of video games?
Of video games?
Yeah, like if you had to pick one
Usually
thing.
like immersion.
Okay.
Like just being able to go along with something, being dragged forward by a story or like a gameplay mechanic or something like
Right.
that. I never get that from multiplayer. When somebody else is running around doing something, I don't get that.
Right,
You would
because
think I would say I play video games for fun, and that is
Well, no,
true,
that's part
but
of the
that's
fun.
not
Right.
There's
I know
other
what
things
you
I could
mean.
do for fun, you know.
Right.
I play video games for a slightly different reason than I do anything else.
Right. And competitive video game playing is totally
completely
different. It's a
different
different
side
type
of
of
it,
game.
yeah.
It really is. And it doesn't matter the game you're competing in. Just the fact that you're competing makes it so much different.
It's like the difference, I guess, between like playing chess and playing football.
Oh yeah,
People
that's a
consider
good
them
analogy.
both sports or both games in a way, but they're very, very,
Very,
different
very different,
things.
right.
Fundamentally, they're different things, even though they're both competitive games. So maybe that's not the best example, but you know what I mean.
I see what you're saying.
You're doing something different, and there's
Right. Chess is chess. Football is football.
right. They're completely different sides of the same coin.
I think though that I get a rush from playing competitive games online that I don't get ever from playing single player.
Right.
Like I mean I do sometimes. Like if I'm driving super fast in GTA, I get that rush during that. But for the whole 5 minutes of Rocket League, I'm just like I'm hunting for gold, man. I got this adrenaline, and my favorite is communicating with people in that game because you can really only say. I mean, you can type things in if you have, but in the 5 seconds between like when they show the goal and when you start playing again. But you have like using the D-pad, you can select already like decided sentences like "great goal" or "thank you"
Or get good.
But
It's not one of them, unfortunately.
But you can say like "what a save," and it's really funny to like score a goal on someone, and then say "what a save," like, and then people will just start spamming the swear that you do. It's just a bunch of like symbols.
I always
Like
spam
Barrett
this
in
way.
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh,
Exactly.
But I get this sort of like really fun rush, and I got that same thing from Halo 2 and from like NHL, which is really the only other sports game I've ever played online. I just get this sort of you're right. It's a different thing. It's a different type of fun, but I still think it's really great.
I wonder if my view would be different if back in the day when everybody was playing Halo 2 and I finally tried to set up my Xbox Live, if it had ever worked.
That's where I got in.
If I had ever gotten to like play with all the other kids at school when they were playing Halo 2, if that experience had happened, maybe.
Were you
I
into
would feel
first-person shooters at all? Like as a whole?
Not too much, but I really liked Halo. I was a big Halo fan.
Right, but this is exactly my point. You were a big Halo fan, but the multiplayer in Halo, or Halo 2 Online, for example, is totally different than you really liking Halo for the story. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like
did like
guns and the
Halo because
gameplay
it was
mechanics
fun.
are obviously the same, but it's Halo 2 Online itself is just totally different than
Right.
the campaign. You know,
And
what I mean?
I wanted to play online. I was excited to do that with everybody, but
Right.
my
The community
connection
for
just
that-
never worked.
Yeah.
I've had long-standing beef with internet in my house.
The Xbox Live community for that game, locally anyway, I'm sure national, like worldwide, it was huge. Obviously, it was, but locally around here, everyone.
Yeah,
played.
everybody at school when we were going to middle school.
You'd be in lunch talking about, oh, we're doing this tonight.
Guess who wasn't talking about it?
You?
Me.
Dude, there
Me
was
either.
actually
Yeah,
not
it's
even.
Steve, it was fine.
Honestly, how many people from our school played? Over 30.
Yeah.
Over a solid 30 people
In our grade, at
Yeah,
least.
that's what I mean. It was bizarre.
I played that game like the day it came out. I beat the campaign in like 2 days, and I was really, really upset. I was really pissed off at how short the game was and how it left me on a cliffhanger. And then I played online and just didn't stop. And all three of you were at my old house when I lived there, right? And you saw that big wire going up the
Yeah, up the
there
stairs.
was always an Ethernet cable going from the downstairs up this spiral staircase leading into my room. That was there because that was the only way I could play Halo 2 online. I tried so many different wireless adapters in like whenever that was, 2005, right? 2004 or 5.
Probably before that.
Yeah, I don't know. No, it was definitely around. At least I was doing it around 2005. And wireless adapters were complete dog shit back then. They had these big, goofy, stupid antennas, and I just could never get a signal enough to power my desktop. And then one day I came home from school, and my mom handed me a rake and was like, "Rake the yard." And I was like, "God damn it!" So I like raked the whole backyard, and it took me a couple hours. And I came back in, and she handed me a 50-foot Ethernet cable, and I was like,
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I was so stoked. And I just played Halo 2 for a good, like, I don't know, year or so online, like every night with, like you were saying, like people from our school. And Ryan MCD123, one of the best Halo 2 players of all time.
Dude, that was my most successful multiplayer game because I remember I went on the Bungie forums like probably 6 months into playing. I was pretty good at the time, and I wanted to start a league or a guild or whatever the fuck it is. What was it called? A clan.
Clans.
Clan. I'm sorry. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
Wu-Tang.
Right, like the Wu-Tang Clan. And I went on the forums and I posted, and this like dude replied within like 5 minutes. And it was at like 3 a.m. because we just got off and playing. I was like, all right, I want to do some clan matches. And me and this dude from Toronto made a clan, and we got wicked good. Like, we had everybody in that fucking thing. Like, everybody. You remember that shit?
Yeah, the Dark Aces.
The Dark Aces. And we got ranked, man, on clan match. 4-on-4 clan match. We were ranked on the boards for like over a week. Like, we were,
awesome.
dude, we were sick. Granted, I definitely wasn't one of the best on the team. Like, I am really good at Halo 2 online, or I was anyway. I'm sure I'd still be pretty good at it now. But there were people in this guild that were 1,000 times better than me. But just the fact that I put that together with that guy was like, it was crazy. I'd never done anything like that online in a game before. You know what I mean? It was sick. And everyone at school was in it. McDermott was in it.
Ryan McD 123. Yeah, dude, I played as recently as 2009 when I was a freshman. I was in my dorm, and it was the first time that I had like a solid wireless hookup. Like, those college networks are really damn good. And so I hooked it up. I found Halo 2 on my original Xbox, and I played it. And there were still people online. The only thing you could play was Rumble Pit. That was all anyone would do, which is the free-for-all. Which Ryan McD123 was 11th in the world, ranked for like a whole, I think, about a year. Like, at that game's heyday. He's really one of like the better people. Probably the better like
Holy
50
smokes.
to 100 Halo 2 players ever.
So while
Absolutely.
all of that was happening back in middle school, you guys were playing Halo 2, being cool, making memories. Me and Steve were falling into a different obsession
With each other.
With each other. Well, that had started long before. With a series of games called Dot Hack.
I knew it.
Yeah.
What?
We were like 12 years old playing.
Dot Hack?
These games were action anime RPGs where you played inside of a fake MMO.
The world.
That's called The World. And those games were probably subpar. I don't really know.
They were amazing. They're not so.
They were amazing in our minds. What? We're getting
to the mic.
off mic. Come to the mic. Come to the mic, Bill.
You come to mine.
There's
What's your face?
This is Bill. He's my roommate.
Not to interrupt or anything, but Chris told me to look out for Dot Hack games.
Speak right into it.
Chris told me to look out for Dot Hack
I
games
sure did.
a while ago. I found the last one they made for PS2 going for $169.
Holy crap.
I'm not buying that for you.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's fine. So, yeah, anyway, these games were all... it was basically one game broken up into 4 parts, the original Dot Hack series. And they just milked us for however much of our parents' money went into that because we were children and didn't have dollars. But you just played as a kid who played an MMO. You like played as his avatar. And that's why it's so weird because I didn't want to play with real people, but I liked playing with fake real people.
That's kind of brilliant.
But we always wanted to play an MMO after that, but we were just little kids and like our parents wouldn't let us. But yeah, that game, there's just things going wrong in the game, and you have to fix them. Like your friend in real life goes into a coma, and you're trying to figure out what in the game made him do that because they play with VR headsets. But yeah, we were super obsessed with those games.
Was that PS2?
That was PS2, yeah.
Huh.
Dot Hack Infection was the first one. I can't remember all the other ones.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
It's Mutation 3. I don't remember, and then it's Quarantine. So
Yeah.
It's Dot Hack Infection, Dot Hack Mutation, Dot Hack something, and then Dot Hack Quarantine.
Outbreak.
Outbreak and Quarantine.
And they all came with DVDs. All the games came with an extra DVD. It was like this long like series. It was a 4-part series, I guess.
episodes.
It still wasn't long. It was the opposite of long. It was short. It was a 4-part series about like some other thing going on in that world. And there was like a bunch of TV series. There's still TV series that they make for anime shows and manga and all that crap. We hoped that it would come back in some way, but it never really did. They made another series on PS2, but we never played those.
I found out about Dot Hack from Cinematheque on G4. Cinematheque. It would show all these like
On G4, yeah.
It would show
Back when
little.
G4 was... Before G4 was the G4 that then got turned into like Esquire TV.
Well, it merged with Tech TV, which was cool at first because that's where Attack of the Show came from. Attack of the Show used to be a show called The Screensavers, and Kevin Pereira wasn't on it. It was these 2 other guys on Tech TV, and then they brought it over to G4 and fired those guys who people loved. I posted it on the G4 forums. I remember this shit. I remember the merger and a whole bunch of...
I remember you posting on the G4 forums in computer class in high school.
I remember you posting on that too.
I was all about
They
it, dude.
strictly allowed no forum usage, and you were like, I don't give a fuck.
No what? Oh, yeah, I know.
Proxy.
Yeah. No, I just did it because...
We became friends because we were both on the Elder Scrolls website. Or I was, at
You
least. And
was,
you
and
saw me, and you were like, this
Yeah.
nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, those were the days, computer class.
That's how you guys became friends.
Yeah,
in
we
real
didn't really
life?
know each other in middle school. It was high school. It was freshman year of high school.
He was like, he's on the Elder Scrolls.
He's
now.
just looking at Morrowind screenshots.
Dude, you were in.
4 years after
You
this
were
game
in.
came out.
Right then and there, you're in. He's like, all right, you can be my friend.
That was a great piece of happenstance because I was sitting next to this person. I won't name names because this is public, but someone who they're not doing too hot right now either. I'll tell you later. But they were being rambunctious, and so they, instead of moving seats, like moving his seat, the teacher moved my seat and just put me next to Chris, which was like brilliant move. She had no idea.
Yeah, solid move.
She had no idea we were both into Morrowind and would soon strike up a friendship over
Had
it.
no idea that I would be just looking at screenshots.
I'm pretty sure that she ended up moving us away from each
Yeah,
other.
because we talk too much.
Yeah, fuck that lady, dude. Miss Tucko. I'll say your name. Fuck you, Miss Tucko.
Yeah, she was a bitch. She sucked. She straight up sucked. The other keyboarding teachers were actually pretty nice, though. They also got a bad rap, though, because they were like involved with her. They were like, oh, they lumped them into one group.
So this one syndicate
And,
of
yeah, which I guess, you know
keyboardists.
what? If you ever had that teacher, that was vindicated because she was a fucking
Whatever, me and Bill
bastard.
became friends because of it, so
Yeah. Good.
she fucked up.
Remember when you wrote her a fucking letter?
Yeah. I do remember that. I wrote her a mean letter.
Describe that letter.
I
for me.
remember that too.
Well, it was a year after I had her, and one of my other friends, who's not in this room, who's no longer in this state, he had her, and he put me in one of his like PowerPoint presentations as like a friend. Like you were supposed to do one about your life, and there was a friends page, and I was on it. And I guess she said something like shitty about me. I don't really remember, but
She was like, honestly, I heard Dylan sucks at Morrowind.
yeah, she talked shit about me somehow. And I heard about it, so I decided that the mature thing to do would be write her a letter and where I just tell her how disappointed I am in her as like a teacher at the school that I go to because she's getting involved. What is everyone laughing about? What is that? What's that say? All right, Bill handed us a note like a secret agent. Her class was the first that I ever went baked to as a freshman. Well, I mean, yeah, why not, right?
No, oh, dude, that was you probably regretted that immediately. She was the devil. Still probably is. I'm assuming.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I just know that she said Dylan sucked at Morrowind. She said it to my face. And I was like, whoa, lady.
Hey, those are fighting words. Lady. You gotta calm down.
She knows that you suck.
What
but
was the
Dylan?
story,
That's awesome.
Dylan? I believe it was in your keyboarding class when a certain student played the
Yeah, Casey
What
Wilder
was it?
played.
What song?
He played Centerfold by John Fogerty for 90
Centerfield,
minutes.
you mean?
Centerfield, yeah, sorry. Centerfold's Jay Giles. Centerfield by John Fogerty in his headphones for the whole 90-minute class. She allowed it to happen.
the beginning of that song. Like, no, if I had to hear that more than twice, I think I'd call it quits.
Pour me in, coach. I'm ready to play today.
Was he on the baseball team? That would be really funny. This shit's gone off the rails real hard.
Yeah.
So Chris is wearing a PS1 t-shirt.
It's
Just
just,
the
it's just the
PlayStation
PlayStation
logo.
logo. Everyone keeps
Wow.
saying to me, oh, it's a PS1 shirt. It's just a PlayStation
Because
logo.
that's what you see when you
That's
turn on a
true.
PS1,
It is
a
very-
black
yeah, it
logo
is
with the
very
PS
emblematic.
logo.
Yeah.
A black logo with a PS logo?
Shut up, dude.
We can
black background.
We can use
There
this
you go.
T-shirt as cover art for this episode.
Just you wearing it. You're wearing all black except for that.
Yeah, I just changed when I got
PS
home
logo.
from
You like
work. I was
Big
wearing a
L.
button up, and it's 9,000 degrees today in Boston.
In Boston.
In Boston again.
You mean Stoneham?
Whatever. It's near enough.
No, it's not actually. It's enough distance for the weather to be a little bit different.
Whatever, Joe. But you don't even like video games.
I don't.
Dude, Bill's playing X-Men 2 for the Sega Genesis right now, and this is one of my all-time favorite games, and also one of the harder games I've ever played. And it has no character select screen. You turn on the game, and it instantly goes to the first level as a random character. And it, oh yeah, when you die, but you only have 3 continues, so if you die, you're down 1. And this game is absolutely amazing. If you've never played it, I highly recommend emulating it because it'll work the same way. If you have a Sega Genesis, buy the Genesis. But if you don't, emulate it because this game is fucking sweet. Look
One
at
of the
me
hardest
beating up
Genesis
tanks.
games I ever played was the Gargoyles game. And I always thought, like, man, I just suck at this game. This is a bummer. But I've heard since that game was, like, notoriously really, really difficult. Gargoyle's like the cartoon.
Yeah, the
Goliath.
WB cartoon.
Yeah. I really, really liked that game, but I couldn't get past a certain level, which must have been really early. My memory is very, very foggy, but I spent a lot of time trying to beat those levels.
I have very many games on Genesis that I've never really gotten past the first couple levels. Terminator, which I talked about on a previous podcast.
Yeah, you did.
I think that was on the Lost podcast.
Oh, we have a Lost podcast, true.
Yeah, where I talked about...
We talked about the bouncer in Terminator?
Yes, yeah. Terminator. You can't get past the John Connor level. It's impossible where he's in the truck. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, man. That shit's hard. But the Jurassic Park game, I could never get past the second level. This X-Men 2 could never get past the third level, ever. My whole life.
Well, they intentionally made games... They intentionally made games difficult. So
Right.
they would eat your quarters at arcades, or they would just, like, you get one game and you're going to pay, like, $90 for it. Because games were super expensive back then.
Don't you really...
60, sure.
Don't you wish that there was, like... games like that now where it's like, yep, you're going to be playing this game for 20 years and still never beat it.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
The closest we get is with stuff like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but even those they're not really hard once you know what you're doing.
They're frustrating.
As long as you're patient, those games aren't that hard.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately for you, makes them very hard.
I'm very impatient, but I've beaten all the games that I've played of that series, so...
The Ghouls and Ghosts game for Genesis, or Super Ghouls and Ghosts, I remember playing those when I was young. Not when they came out, probably like 13 or 14, because we had them and I just like never played them before, so I was curious. Those games were fucking impossible. And I remember back then being so frustrated and being like, oh, this fucking sucks, so I stopped playing. But then I got one on Virtual Console like a year ago, and the same thing happened. Like, I played it for like an hour, and I was like, this game's way too fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even fun. So, you know, they could have done I don't know, they could have made them a little easier back then, but now it's very rare that a game comes out and it like busts your balls. You know what I mean? I liked it better back then, but I don't know. Some games do, like
Bloodborne?
Dark Souls and Bloodborne, shit like that. But
even
as far as
those
the
aren't
whole-
even like Steve said, it's not even really skill based.
They're like rhythm. You need to.
Yeah,
Isn't,
it's like a rhythm game. Bloodborne is basically a rhythm game.
That's what I've heard.
You just need a lot of patience. Yeah, you need to.
That
you just need
takes
to time
skill. That
everything. But the
takes
game
prep.
is fair. A lot of those old games, the games just straight up weren't fair.
Exactly.
It's just like, hey, fuck you, buddy.
That's the exact.
Try again. Give
the
us more
exact
quarters.
difference. Yeah. Which is fun. Yeah, it was bullshit. Give us more quarters.
And then they would come to home console and it would just be the same thing. You'd be like, I don't have any quarter.
A lot of the boss battles were kind of rhythmic, though, like in Metroid and Castlevania. You have to get
Or
into a rhythm.
Punch-Out.
Yeah, or Punch-Out, definitely.
You know what else is a rhythmic game?
What?
Persona 4 Dancing All Night. Any of you guys know about this? No, you wouldn't because you don't know what Persona 4 is.
No one cares. Don't talk about it.
It's a dancing game and I'm excited for it. That's all.
It's not
Leave it
out
at
yet.
that. That's fine. That's
It
fine.
isn't out?
It's a dancing game based off of the
But it's not
Persona franchise.
I thought that's all you were going to say, and now you keep talking about it.
There's a rhythm game I saw on Steam called Crypt of the Necro Dancer.
Oh, I've heard about this.
I haven't.
This game looks so cool. I was really close to buying it, but I just like didn't for some
It's
reason.
supposed to be pretty fun.
Yeah, it has really good reviews from everybody, critics and users alike.
Yeah.
It looks sick. You can even use a gamepad or a dance
Yeah, I
pad
don't
to
think.
play.
Oh yeah, you can. You
It's
meant like a
basically it's a roguelike dungeon crawler. Like, it looks like Zelda kind of. It's like top down 2D. Like, and you play this as this little thing. What is it? What do you play as? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Like a
it's
little character.
person.
I think there's a bunch of different characters, and you're in a dungeon. And you have to collect loot, but you have to move to a beat, like the song.
I don't think you
know
have
what
to
mean?
move to a beat. You just have to move by tapping.
No, you have to move to the beat of the song.
You sure?
Yeah, and you build up power. And if you don't
Oh,
move
yeah.
to the beat of the song, you have no power and you can't do anything. But you can upload your own music and, like, I don't know, do it that way, or you can use the songs that are already preloaded onto it. But look, you have to get into a rhythm, and it takes a while to get used to it. But once you get on a roll, you get on a fucking roll, and you attack people and you buy items. Like, it's a super like deep game. But the whole thing of it is that you have to move to a rhythm the entire time. Looks really fun.
You know what my favorite rhythm game is?
What?
Parappa the Rappa.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that game is so
Punch
sweet.
All in the mug.
Yes, that onion head guy.
Yeah.
That's another game still never beaten. I mean, I guess I probably
Bring it
could
back,
now if I
Shuhei. Bring it
wanted.
back.
That would be really sweet.
Shuhei
if they
Yoshida
made
is
a
the
new
president
one.
of Sony.
Who?
PlayStation, whatever.
What's his name?
Shuhei Yoshida at YoSP on Twitter.
Okay.
Shut up.
At what on Twitter?
YoSP. YoSP.
There you go.
Shuhei Yoshida. Anyway, yeah, I fucking loved Parappa the Rapper as a child. Even my sisters loved Parappa the Rapper.
That game was
It came on a
sick.
demo disc
Yes.
when I bought my PS1. Yeah.
With Tomb Raider.
Yeah. And there was some other random ass game, some like deep
Tekken?
sea diving game that
Oh.
was on there.
The Tekken demo was everywhere too.
I loved Tekken. I was a
I
big
like
old
Tekken.
Tekken fan.
That's my second favorite arcade fighter.
What's your first favorite Mortal Kombat?
Mortal
Ocarina of
Kombat.
Time.
You like Tekken more than Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, favorite arcade.
Holy shit! I like Street Fighter a lot more.
I like Street Fighter, but it was just never my jam.
Tekken was
always-
my favorite fighting series as a kid. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Hands
I mean,
down.
Tekken
Jin
was-
Kazuma turning into a demon at the end of Tekken 3.
Heihachi.
Heihachi, dude.
Heihachi's haircut.
Heihachi's haircut.
The king.
That should have been a playable character.
That
all
should
its
be a.
own.
Never mind.
Paul. Wasn't there
I
a
was gonna make
character
it
named
that
Paul with
There-
the high hair?
He had very high Gerald from.
To anybody who's still
Hey Arnold hair.
Yeah, anybody who still plays fighting games is like, yeah, of course, dude. But I haven't touched this game since PS2.
Dude.
Tekken Tag.
My mom, when I was playing Tekken a lot, she went to a doctor named Dr. King, and I never knew about it until I went with her. I had to go to her appointment, and I was sitting in the waiting room, and I saw like his diploma on the wall, and it said Dr. King, and I just got this image of like my mom at the dentist and like a leopard-headed dentist being like open wide, just dentisting my mom. It
So
was
this
scary.
character of King, he was like a wrestler type, and he wore. Well, I don't actually know. Did he wear a leopard mask, or was his head the head of a leopard?
I think he wore a mask.
Yeah,
Because it was so lifelike, it would move.
it was. It was very.
It was a video
I
game.
actually
It
remember
was a video
that. I
game.
don't. I think it was a
Copy
mask. I don't
that,
think he
Steve.
was a mutant fruit.
I always just thought he was this weird mutant freak. I never
so
knew.
did I. Because there's weird monsters in like Tekken
You can
3.
play as ogre.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry, I wasn't crazy about it.
That's back when like the storylines of fighting games mattered to me.
Yeah, because it was a sweet. I like the whole like fighting contest storyline, which is both
Yeah,
of them, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
But
Fighting tournaments always seem super cool. It's like a movie.
the Mortal Kombat one is even cooler because it takes place in Outworld, where there's this like force of evil that if they win the fighting contest every 10,000 years, they get a chance to take over the Earth realm. That was sweet. They were just like defenders of the realm, selected by Raiden. Liu Kang.
Yeah, that is pretty epically sweet.
I don't know much about the lore of Mortal Kombat, but that's definitely my favorite arcade fighter. Like without a fucking doubt, it's not even close.
Just watch the Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 1995.
I've seen it. I
just watched it on repeat
I don't really remember.
for a week.
Mortal Kombat 10 had a lot of pretty good lore in it, in the story. It brought back a lot of
MKX.
characters. MKX.
I played that twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Mortal Kombat 9, the previous one, not the one that's out right now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I've only played that one a few times, but it's really fun. I don't know anything about the story though.
It's a good game. It's a lot like 2. It's like a remade version of 2. I don't know about the story, like you said, but the way the game plays is a lot like Mortal Kombat 2, which is my personal favorite. 3 Ultimate is the best
I agree.
Mortal Kombat, definitely, but MK2 is my personal fave. But I don't know. That game's unbelievable, dude.
That series is like groundbreaking in a way. It was so like controversial because it showed blood.
Oh yeah, dude. There's a great documentary on YouTube. It's like I think it's 2 parts, probably 25 minutes each, about Mortal Kombat and Ed Boon, the guy who created it. With what was the other guy's name? Do you remember?
John Tobias.
Tobias. Yeah, and they worked at Konami, and they were like they liked their jobs, but then they got put on some like shitty EA game. And then they started making Mortal Kombat like on their own personal time, and they showed it to whoever their higher ups were, and they were like, "Yeah, it's good, but it needs to be more like Street Fighter." And they were like, "Fuck that! Like, we're not gonna fucking do that."
Little fun fact from Street Fighter, actually. Did you know that M. Bison was supposed to be the name for the character Balrog? And Balrog was supposed to be the name for M. Bison. But you know why Balrog was supposed to be called M. Bison?
I don't.
Because it was supposed to be a play on M. Tyson, Mike Tyson. And he's the boxer character.
Right.
And Balrog is like the big scary bad guy. That was supposed to be M. Bison, but they just switched the names around in the translation, and that's how we got
That's
what we have.
weird.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Huh.
That's really interesting.
Sean Lavin told me that. Shout out.
Shout out, dude.
You know,
In Streets of Rage, the bad guys, they're called Galcia, Galsia. That was a mistranslation. It was supposed to be Garcia.
oh
It
my
was supposed
god.
to, yeah, they were supposed to just be like kind of like Mexican thugs.
Mistranslations
Bad guys.
are amazing.
Yeah,
Only in video games.
not that all Mexicans are thugs or bad guys. Just clarification.
Wow. All right. What's not?
It's
now the only one
Judgment
not
Day
racist
every
here.
day, man. I gotta cover my
Okay,
tracks.
now-
So speaking of weird translations, I've been playing Katamari Damacy.
Quiet.
Great game.
All
Hold on-
week.
Hold on a second. So now Dylan, Joe, and Chris, you're on trial of being racist.
I don't want to talk about this.
Too bad,
It's
you're
a hot
racist.
topic
You're not
in
God,
America
Steve.
right now.
What'd you say to me?
You're not God.
Says who?
Me.
You're not God. You can't tell me what. You can't tell this God what you need to
Touche.
do.
This podcast is getting weird.
All right. Anyway, talk about Katamari.
Did you guys ever play Katamari?
Yeah,
Any of
at
these
your
games?
house.
Yeah. Dude, that's like, honestly, it's one of my favorite games of all time. It never fails to make me happy. I haven't played it in a really long time, but I downloaded it a while ago, played like 2 levels. And then this past week, just played every other level in that game. And to anybody who doesn't know, you play as a little tiny microscopic prince.
Calamari.
And he's called the Prince of the Cosmos, and his dad, the King of the Cosmos, this ridiculous man wearing a ridiculous outfit, destroyed all the stars because he was partying too hard. And it's your job to go down to Earth and roll around a ball, which is called the Katamari, picking up stuff to reform all the stars.
Pick up everything,
Pick
right?
up everything.
Yeah, eventually.
Starting with like pencils and erasers, and then you get a little bit bigger, and you're picking up cats, and then you're picking up people, and then you're picking up buildings, and then continents, and yeah.
So why didn't that game? It seems like a great concept. Like, why didn't it continue on to like all the
did.
generations? It did. There's
It did.
one for
It
PS3.
stopped on PS. There was a PS3 one called Katamari Forever.
Oh, I didn't
And
know
then
that.
there's one on Xbox 360 called My Beautiful Katamari, I think. And the most recent one was on PlayStation Vita.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played any past PlayStation 2, but
Do you know if they're good?
I don't. I hope that
Bill
they
says
are.
they're good.
I can't. I mean, the concept is ultra fun.
We have one in this
Do we
house?
have one in this room?
We
Anyway,
own
yeah,
one?
I,
That's cool.
That game never fails to make me happy. The sound effects of rolling things up, like people.
Vincent.
Every item
We
has an individual sound effect when you roll it up, from like little like bleeps and bonks and shit to just people outright screaming bloody murder when you roll them up. But it's such a cute, cartoony game that
It's
it
a
just
cute
makes me
bloody murder.
laugh.
No, the music too. Oh yeah, let's see it. Beautiful Katamari for Xbox 360.
Hell yeah, yeah. That's what I was talking about.
The Prince and the King have finally arrived on the Xbox 360 video game and entertainment system.
Excellent clarification there.
They had to throw in that it's a video game and entertainment system. They were pushing it back then. They're pushing it now.
Nintendo Entertainment
Maybe
System
we should
was called
clarify. I
Entertainment
guess
System.
we're all a little tiny bit biased against Xbox because we're all playing PS4. Joe, you're Nintendo and PC.
Yeah, but I like Xbox more. Well, I did for when I played on console.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was going to buy one now, it would be a PS4 simply because you guys all have it.
yeah.
But if you guys bought an Xbox, I'd probably buy an Xbox.
I don't really have anything against Xbox. Just they don't have any exclusives that I care about, so I went with PS4 instead.
Same. I heard about Bloodborne on E3, and I was like,
Uncharted
okay, that's
4.
what I'm getting.
I mean, based on my shirt that I'm wearing right now, you guys probably know that I'm kind of a
You're-
Sony fanboy.
You're definitely a Sony guy. I don't know. I can't really pick a side. I like them both.
It's just because I wanted a Nintendo 64, but I got a PlayStation 1, and from then on, I just aligned myself with it.
PS1 was fucking awesome, but I don't know.
Except for when the PS3 first launched, I was like, wow, that's $600 and Oblivion is on Xbox 360. So
Yeah, dude.
That's my choice. And then a couple years later, I got a PS3. But
I guess it's easy to be a PlayStation fanboy because if you're our age, but if you grew up with the PS1, because back then it was PS1, Nintendo, and then the Dreamcast, really. Dreamcast was pretty much already dead. So if you grew up with that basis, it's easy to be a Nintendo or a PlayStation guy. If you're a little bit younger and your first generation console was an Xbox, I can totally see why they're very loyal to that, because I really liked the Xbox and I really liked the Xbox 360, and the only reason they don't have an Xbox One is because of exclusives. It's nothing really. I didn't like the Kinect, and I didn't like when you were supposed to be online at all times. I thought that their marketing was an absolute disaster, and it just turned me on to the PS4. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to look towards it, like the next generation of Microsoft console. Like, they're pretty goddamn good.
yeah, when I think back, I guess I recolored my past with this, but I really, really wanted an Xbox when I had a PlayStation 2, and eventually, years later, I finally got one, probably a year or two before the 360 came out, and I loved that thing. I played a ton of games on it. I was super devoted to that. I played Morrowind on it, Knights of the Old Republic, Halo. Like, I bought a lot of games for the Xbox, and I loved the shit out of it. And then when 360 came out, I was all about that. I even liked getting achievements. Like, that was something I was interested in. And I played a ton of games on it. A ton of games that I love. Some of my favorite games. Elder Scrolls 4, Red Dead Redemption, Fallout 3, all this, Mass Effect, all these games I played, on 360. But now when I look back, for some reason I always tend to kind of discard it, and that's because in the latter years of last generation, I ended up moving almost exclusively to PlayStation 3.
I was gonna say, I remember you playing a shitload of Xbox 360.
Yeah.
That's crazy though. I mean, you must have had a better experience on PS3. I guess
It just had the games that I wanted. By the end of the console cycle, the games that I wanted the most were all on PS3.
the interface of PS3 isn't nearly as good as the interface on 360, in my
No,
opinion.
It's
you're
way
wrong.
friendlier.
You think so?
On the recent when they made it so it's easy for Kinect?
No, I was back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, 360 was way better.
Yeah, I haven't played it since they were both relevant.
Flipped it, like they made it so it was easier for you to do Connect, and it just, in my opinion, made it way worse. It was way harder to do anything because you're supposed to be able to do it with your hands. No one did, and it was just like kind of ruined it for me. Like at the end, so I kind of stopped going out because it was like kind of a pain to get to anything to like. Oh, I want to look at my achievements. Well, now I have to go like I can get like if you're on the page, like find them hidden away somewhere weird, or like find your games, or like in some weird tab.
Yeah, I had an Xbox 360 because in the beginning my main focus was I really wanted to play Oblivion, so I was willing to just buy the console for that, and then whatever else came, like cool. PS3, I had a very specific list of things that I wanted that I knew were coming to that console back in 2007 or 6, whatever. Before I even had one, I wanted Metal Gear Solid 4. I wanted Final Fantasy Versus 13, which became Final Fantasy 15. I wanted Kingdom Hearts 3, and I wanted The Last Guardian. Only one of those games came out for PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
That was Metal Gear Solid 4, which is a phenomenal game. But
Right.
if you're a Metal Gear fan, it's a phenomenal game. All those other things are now, I guess, coming to PS4. We'll fucking see, because none of them are out.
Speaking of games that aren't coming out,
Oh yeah, Zelda was not on the financial report for Nintendo's 2016 likely titles. They left it off the list. They didn't say anything about it. I don't think.
I
yet.
guess I never assumed that it was coming out this year. I kind of just had a feeling that it wasn't.
Yeah,
it wasn't at
but
E3.
it's next year.
They announced that it wasn't going to be
next
at E3.
year.
but
Yeah,
still.
if you followed it though, dude, they showed that game off in 2011.
Yeah,
2011.
I know. It's been a while.
Think about that. Like that's fucking. That's like what? What? That I don't know. That's
Well, people think that Kingdom Hearts 3, at the beginning of this year, people thought that game was coming out this year, and now everybody thinks it's coming out next year. That game's not fucking coming out next year.
Yeah.
It'll be like 2017 or 2018.
right. Which is
Same
what?
thing with the Final Fantasy VII remake. It would make sense to time it with the 20-year anniversary, which would be 2017, but that game will probably take much longer unless they go 100% full steam ahead on
right.
that.
And to make it, delay it is ultimately a good thing, obviously. But I don't think it's going to come out on Wii U. I think it's going to be NX launch. Maybe they'll do a double release, like you said, what they would do, what they did with whatever Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think that would be wicked stupid, and people would be straight up pissed if they did that.
so you don't think that's a good business decision?
No way. They should either release it on Wii U or release it on NX. They should not do a double release. Wii U owners would be pissed off. I mean, yeah, they would still get the game, but they'd be like, well, it's out for NX. I might as well get an NX, and this sucks because I was waiting for this game that was shown on the Wii U, apparently, on 3 different occasions that we've been waiting for, that we were promised from the head cheese that it was going to come out this year. And then 2 months later, they took it back. That'd be bullshit if they released it with the new console on the old console. I think they're either A, going to release it on Wii U, or B, they're going to make it a launch title for NX. But if I had to pick a side, I would say it's going to be an NX launch title. I don't know. It's a shame. I'm
That's
really
what
upset.
makes the most sense, because a new Zelda game would drive sales of a new console.
Exactly. It would. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would drive sales for a Wii U as well.
Yeah.
But just the fact that they announced the new console is people were
And they
became
can make
hesitant.
it the game that they really want to.
Exactly.
Wii
And they
U,
have,
again, it's behind on hardware.
right. It's behind on hardware, and they have way more time if they're going to release it on NX. That's another year or
So
2 of development.
I brought this up to you guys earlier off podcast, but did any of you notice, Steve or Dylan? I don't even know if you played Twilight Princess, Steve.
I did. I borrowed your copy and beat
Did
it.
you guys know that it was reversed?
Yep.
I never
What does that mean?
I thought that they just put
flipped
the
everything.
sword in Link's right hand, even though he's a lefty. But they just straight up flipped the entire game. They mirror imaged the whole thing.
Do you think that means that they were developing it maybe for the GameCube?
Yeah, it was just a GameCube game that they
Yeah.
flipped. They
Wow.
just decided to port it over to the Wii. It wasn't supposed to be a Wii game,
Wow.
and that's super weird. Link is a lefty.
Yeah.
I didn't
Always has
know
been.
that.
No, that's a
Famously
true thing.
lefty. But
He
now
is.
it's in the GameCube version, I guess
I'm pretty sure he's a lefty. I haven't played it.
If you were to go right, that would be you going left.
I don't.
In the Wii version, I'm not sure, but that's just a super weird concept to think about.
Yeah, that is
Different
strange.
strategy guides.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's just a really weird thing that I never thought of for years.
For the brief time I played it on GameCube. I had an emulator for GameCube and did it that way. But I don't know. I heard that game was great, regardless of the platform. Honestly,
I've always heard people complain about Twilight Princess, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah, people say it's really easy, and like you said before, it's too long. But I don't know. If it's a Zelda game, it's going to be good. It's going to be at least an 8. You know what I mean? It's worth the play.
Yeah,
I've played
absolutely.
most of them. So.
How many DS Zelda games do you think will come out before this new one comes out for the Wii U or NX?
Well, there's already one that has been announced. The Dungeon Crawler one. I don't remember what that's called. I think that's coming out in maybe the fall. Yeah, I think it's coming out in November. So that's definitely going to come out.
It's coming out that soon.
Yeah. That game's pretty well on its way.
Sorry, everyone. This episode got cut short because the laptop died. We'll be back next week.
See ya!